Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Ever17, the Out of Infinity. Last time, we found out some interesting details about Yu's background, possibly. Especially her dad and her mother's. Apparently, based on the facts that Sora was able to find out, they're supposed to be dead. Her dad's supposed to have died 34 years ago, and her mother, 15, 16, something like that. So that's very strange. Maybe 17 years. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember the number for her mother, but apparently she didn't take it very well, which I can't say I blame her. But very interesting details. So I'm very intrigued to find out what's up with all of this. So let us get on with the story. I spoke exactly what came into my mind. Oh yes, and he's trying to comfort her. I remember what you said when we first met. You said, I am you. I am you. You are me. We are the same. You're not alone. I was no knight in shining armor, and there wasn't much I could do by myself. So don't struggle with this alone. Let's think through it together. I thought that we could get through it together. I nodded firmly. So, what do we know so far?
お父さんが死んでるかもしれないって情報よ。でも、そんなはずないよ。だって、お母さんから聞いていた年よりも17年も前なんだよ。私が生まれる16年も前なんだよ。
That's not all, is it?
そうよ。言うにこと書いて、そのお母さんまですでに死んでるかもしれないってさ。ふざけないでよ。なんでそんなことになるのよ。矛盾だらけじゃないの。15年前よ。15年前。私が3歳の時よ。物心つく前よ。私がここにやってくる直前まで、お母さんは私の目の前でピンピン飛び跳ねてたんだからね。
Okay, I was wondering about exactly when she had last seen her. So yeah. That's what you said.
そうらしいじゃなくて、そうなの。一体どういうことよ。何が間違ってて、何が正しいの。私を育ててくれたあの人は誰だったの。私のお父さんは誰なの。どこ行っちゃったの。
Maybe you were raised by your aunt or something. I don't know. That's a possibility.
わけがわからない。
Like a dam bursting, you spewed out all of her bad feelings that had been brewing up inside of her. Wait, just calm down.
十分落ち着いてるわよ。
You're losing your composure and ability to judge.
私はいつだって冷静よ。いい？答えはもう出てるの。お父さんは17年前に失踪したまま行方がわからない。そして今もどこかで生きてる。お母さんも生きてる。今も家で私の帰りを待ってる。これがたった一つの真実よ。永久不変の定理よ。よって証明不要。
Look, you're jumping to conclusions.
黙らさい。あんたもあのポンコツレミと一緒でバグってんのよ。
Idiot! You're the one who's messed up. He's really doing a very good job consoling her. You should be a psychiatrist or something. Therapist, I mean.
なんですって。
You're pretty smart, right?
どっちなのよ。
And I thought you were strong. You were the one who said that your knowledge wasn't for defense, it was for offense. It was the first time that I ever met a girl who said anything like that. I never thought you'd be weak like this. So why are you acting like this now? Come on, let's just be logical and think this through one point at a time. the way you always do. The reason you're confused is the information is conflicting, right? Because you think that part of it can't be right. So let's start by sorting fact from fiction, beginning with what you know. You know about a lot of things. You have the materials in your head to sort this thing out. You, out of anyone, should be able to tell what is a lie. Right? You turned her eyes away from me. She bit down hard on her lip. She finally looked down and closed her eyes as if she were thinking. I could tell that she was trying hard to accept the possibility that maybe the facts might be true. Finally, you lifted her face. You gave a little nod. Alright. Finally, it was time to start deducing things. I decided to start breaking things down with the things that were clear. Like what TF-Blau or TB? Like what was TF-Blau or TB? You explained that it was a malignant virus that had an extremely high death rate which had ravaged the world in the past. Past? She said that it was first discovered more than 30 years before. So time-wise, there was nothing strange if her father had died of TB 34 years ago and her mother died 15 years ago. Furthermore, the world was now free of TB, and a decade earlier the World Health Organization had officially declared the disease eradicated. What you didn't know was when her parents were supposed to have died. You didn't know what she was to make of this information since it was 16 years before she was born. And the mother that had raised her. She said that she had just seen her face just the other day, but she was supposed to have died 15 years before. You know what this calls for? A talk show. My mother, I don't think she just outright enjoys them, but that's what she chooses to watch because there's not a lot on TV that she enjoys watching. So she's always watching these talk shows, and or she watches them a decent amount, and they're always like, "You're the father," and everybody goes crazy and they start fighting. That'd be awesome if there was a Ever17 version of that. Yuiki. You know, like Yuki. You're not the mother. Okay. Just thought I'd throw that out there. We figured that there were 4 possibilities. 1. Yoichi had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before, and Yuki was still alive. If I decided to make that joke now, I would have had her name right there in front of me, Yuki. Yoichi had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before. However, Yuki had passed away 15 years before. Yoichi had died 34 years before, but Yuki was still alive and well. Yoichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. We didn't know which was truth and which was fiction. It was incredibly confusing. I agree. We decided to consider the possibilities one by one. These theories were based on information from the following 4 sources. A file compiled by Sora concerning the death of Yuki... wow, can't say that name. Yuki Tanaka. The chat log from A and B, the only source of information about Yoichi's death. C. What Yu's mom had told her, the only source of information about Yoichi's disappearance. D. The existence of Yu's mom. We moved to the security office and checked the file concerning the death of Yuki Tanaka again. But as much evidence as there was in the file, it looked like Yuki's death was indeed a fact. We set aside the question of whether she were actually Yu's real mother for the time being. So we were able to narrow it down to two possibilities. We were able to narrow it down to possibilities 2 and 4. Yoichi had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before. However, Yuki had passed away 15 years before. Yoichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. We deduced that would mean that if Yuki were dead, then that meant that Yu's mother had been lying to her all these years. We didn't bother ourselves about the possibility of 2 women having the same name. If we could determine that Yuki was lying, then the reliability of her information about Yoichi's disappearance would drop dramatically. That would strongly boost the possibility that the 4th theory was right. Yoichi had died 34 years before and Yuki 15 years before.
ってことは、やっぱり2人とも。
No, I said wait. Quit jumping to conclusions.
だって。
You're so impatient. We're still trying to sort this out, right? Just then. Drama, apparently. The lights started flickering on and off. See? The lights agree with me.
本当だ。
The lights went out.
そうだとも言ってるよ。
Or maybe you're all gonna die when the whole structure gives way now. Finally they flash back on. Seems like the lights are in bad shape.
そうだね。
Wonder if it's another blackout.
また直すの？
Well, I don't want to either.
今度は倉成一人に直させよっか。
That'd be pretty low. The light conversation seemed to lift Yu's spirits. Okay then. Huh? I heard a voice far off.
おーい、リュウヤーイ、どこにいるんだよ。
あれ？倉成の声？
Well, unless there's another dude wandering around, or Sora decided to start using another voice. Apparently so. Feels like he's looking for you. After a bit, Takeshi appeared.
おお、いたいた。探したぞい。なんだ、少年も一緒かね。最近のお前ら、よく一緒にいるな。
I don't know about that.
気になる？
いや、全然。
ああ、気になりなさいよ。
じゃあ、気になる。
聞いて驚けよ。実は私と少年できちゃってるのでした。
ドエ
ーThat's an awesome reaction. What?
本当か？
No. I'm not touching that. I shook my head vigorously.
たまげたとお愛想で驚いてやってた。
ちょっと勝手に落ち着けないでよ。それは私の役目でしょ。
どうせというのは冗談でってオチだろ。
うん。
つまんねえから話進めるぞ。
はい。
And what was it you came for?
ああ、これから発電機の修理に行くんだけどさ、手伝ってくれないか？
Repair the generator?
まさかまた停電しそうなの？
I didn't believe it.
いや、そこまで深
Even
刻
though
な
the
状
lights
態じゃないんだ
turned
が、
off earlier.
調子が悪いのは確からしいんだ。
Yeah, the lights did just go out a little bit ago.
だろ？まあ大したことはないんだけど、一応メンテナンスしとかなくちゃいけないから。って空に命令されたから。
I see.
ユウ、手伝ってくれよ。
いいけど。
It seemed that you still wasn't back to normal. I could tell that she was just pretending she was fine. Thought that if I let her go and make repairs in this state of mind, she might get hurt. Hey Takushi, I'll go with you to do the repairs.
あ、少年が？
Looks like you is a bit worn out.
だけどよ、お前機械のことをよく知らんだろ？
It'll be fine. I'll try hard. So let me help. A desperate attempt at persuasion succeeded and I had to help. Like how his argument was, I'll try hard. You know, whenever I try to do something I know nothing about, just trying hard, really helps. I really tried hard to repair a TV and, only destroyed it. So, I tried hard though. We started the work after lunch, but... Ouch, Takushi, that hurts.
これぐらい我慢しろよ、男の子だろ？
Takushi grinned sadistically as he patted my right arm, which was supported by a cast. The cast was made of a specially formulated plastic. It was lighter than I expected and not too cumbersome. Takushi had put the cast on me with instructions from Sora. Sora said that she had something else to do and left the work to Takushi.
いやー、しかしすごかったな、あのダイビングは。迫力十分って感じで。
Be quiet. I told you my legs slipped. You're the one that forced the tools on me. Oh, okay, this is after the repairs, okay.
人聞きの悪いこと言うなよ。俺は工具を持ってこいなんて一言も言ってないぜ。
You're the one that jumped off without anything.
どうせまた修理することになれば必要なんだ。置いてくつもりだったんだけどな。
Thought she was making excuses. Okay, fine. It was all my stupid fault. I looked at the cast wrapped around my right arm. While we were repairing the generator, I had lost my balance holding the heavy toolbox and fallen off the machine.
まあそう落ち込むなよ。
Why would he be holding the box in the middle of the
治
repairs?
りも早いそうじゃないか。
Why wouldn't he sit the dang thing down, open it up, and have it to where he could browse through it when he needed it? Easy for you to say.
さてと。
Takushi took a transparent object that could easily be mistaken for a gun at a glance. It was a syringe used to inject a cartridge filled with a cocktail of antibiotics, fever medicine, painkillers, and vitamins.
ほれ、腕出せ。
Takushi put the needle against my left arm. It turned to night. Dinner time rolled around. Just like always, we filled our empty bellies with chicken sandwiches made by Takushi. We wanted a change of pace to do something fun, so we spread out a blanket in the park's rest area. We thought it would kind of put us in the picnic mood. The blanket was from a shop stocking them on the same floor. So it had LeMU's Myeon label printed on it. Sora couldn't eat, but she sat with us, smiling just the same. It seemed that was fun for her. Sarah had just gone to get more drinks from the kiosk. Mew wasn't around. She didn't feel well and was resting in the infirmary. So Sarah was going to take her a sandwich later. As if drawn by the scent, Tsugumi appeared. As if she didn't notice or didn't care, Tsugumi parked herself on Myeon's face and started munching a sandwich. Of course, Takushi started complaining, but Tsugumi just ignored him. She simply sat there eating and drinking by herself. I stared at her absentmindedly. I wondered if I were still stuck on those words.
7日に
Oh, okay.
あなたは死ぬの。
Ever since then, Tsugumi had left me mostly alone. I wondered what she was thinking about just then. I was mulling that when... Fascinating. All of a sudden, Sarah screamed from the direction of the kiosk.
ネズミが出たー
Hearing that, Takushi forgot about Tsugumi for an instant and ran to the kiosk. Sora and I followed him. Is this gonna be chummy? Some of the food in boxes of the kiosk had been damaged. Whoa, what a mess.
こっちの方は全滅みたいだよ。
I wonder if the hot dogs were the work of the rat too.
でもあれは冷蔵庫の中だったんだよ。
She was right. The stuff in the fridge was fine. It looked like we were in no immediate danger of starving.
それにしてもレミューにネズミがいたとは驚きです。
Takushi, our de facto cook, was livid. He was so mad that he couldn't speak. His face went bright red and his whole body shook with anger. Tsugumi was enjoying it though. What's so funny?
それはもちろんあいつの顔。
She pointed at Takushi as she said this. Takushi snapped.
こんにゃろ、もう頭きた。その根津コートやらとっ捕まえて深海魚の餌にしてやる。
So raging, Takushi set about trying to rig up a trout to catch the rat. And he ended up making me help him try to design and set it up. Going along with him was the only way to calm him down. Somehow I was able to help him using my one good arm to cover for my lame one. The trap he tried to make was a useless contraption pieced together from stuff in the warehouse. I won't go to the pain of trying to describe it. We didn't finish until the middle of the night. My mind and body were both worn out. So it wasn't chummy? I don't know. You know, if there's rats down there that weren't there, that wouldn't that mean there's a way up to the top that's not flooded? It's interesting. I headed to where you was. I was worried about her and wanted to touch base on the theories about her parents. Of course, well, this isn't part of the laboratory down on the bottom, though. That's fixed to say, there in Tsugumi's flashback there were rats. So I was fixed to say they were doing some testing. It could be some that escaped, but nah, that wouldn't be the case, I'm sure.
少年みーけ。
What? Do you need something?
少年にね、ナッキョ先輩からの伝言を伝えに来たの。
From you? I was just gonna go see her.
先輩ならもう出かけちゃってるから救護室にはいないと思うよ。
Is she feeling better?
だいぶ楽になったって言ってた。
Tons better. Wow, that's a lot better. Oh well, that's good. And what's the message?
あ、そうそう。これから例のところに行くから少年も来てだって。
The place?
そういえばわかるって言ってたけど。
Talking about the ruins? The place. Did that mean
ねえね
what?
え、なんか知らないうちにうまいことやってるみたいじゃん。早くも真夜中の合いびきですか。うりうり、憎いね憎いね。
I didn't think I knew what she was talking about. The theory was half-baked.
時に少年よ、一体どんな慰め方をしたのかね。あの先輩を瞬殺したぐらいだからきっとものすごいテク使ったんじゃろ。
She didn't fall. I fell and that's how I hurt my arm.
またまたすっとぼけちゃって。しびっとだけ教えてみ。あんなテクやこんなテクかね。いやーダメだってば。これ以上言わせたら18禁だよ。
What was she talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I just gave her a helping hand.
なんといきなしそげなことまで要求しちゃったとですか。
Yeah, I was supposed to say that could be implied that the way he meant for it to be. Huh?
それでそれで、もう大丈夫だって。誰にも言ったりしないから。ダメ？
I thought it was risky to continue the conversation and decided to take a hint from history and see no more, speak no more, hear no more. Sarah finally got the idea. It'd be funny if he just walked to the wall and looked and just put his face to it and just stood there until she walked off. Ultimately, Sarah gave up, and since I figured that you was waiting for me, I started walking. I thought about what you meant by the place. I figured it was probably the Lemurian ruins. Yeah, that's what I figured. What day is this? Is this day 4? Or 5? It's definitely not 3, at least. Or past 3, I know. I've lost track. Just like I had the day before I visited the ruins. I figured I would find you there. It felt like I had traveled through time and opened the door to an ancient time. Speaking of time travel, you had scoffed at it, but I still hadn't given up on the theory. It was the only one that made sense to me. And it make a bit of sense of why you would be alive if her parents really were the parents she was. Okay, I think that thought derailed. If her parents were the parents she thought, time travel would be somewhat of an explanation. That still probably didn't make any sense, but it was shorter, so I guess it's better. There's no other way to explain things. I entered the ruins. I continued through the maze-like passages. Trying not to get lost, I racked my memory. Fortunately, I remembered the path I'd taken the day before. It is still fresh in my mind. It's like I'd been through the area dozens of times. Finally, I found you. She's in the same spot as the day before, the Sun Temple. Now she's sitting on the same obelisk, sitting hugging her knees. I sat down next to her. You feel better now?
おかげさまでね。
That's good to hear.
それにしてもよくここまでたどり着けたね。
It was the only place I could think of.
そうじゃなくて、よくここまでの経路を覚えてたなーって。
What are you talking about? You called me here, right?
そうだよ。
Don't tell me you thought I wouldn't find my way back.
うん。
So it's just a test to see how well his current memory is? Is that what it was for?
そうそう、冗談だよ。本当はね、ちょっと試してみたの。
Oh wow, okay. Test me?
そう。大迷宮をくぐり抜け、悪のドラゴンを打ち倒し、囚われのお姫様を救出してくれるのかどうか。
Could I skip the middle one and just do the first and third?
さっそうとヒーローが現れてくれるのかどうか。白馬の王子様を試してみたかったの。
You heard that from Sarah, right?
そうだよ。
And you were supposed to be the princess.
僭越ながら。
I'm going back. My princess is in another castle. I stood up.
はひどい。私じゃ不服だって言うの？
That's not it at all. I just can't handle this kind of game right now. I'm completely worn out and I've got this broken arm.
あ、右手。
You belatedly noticed my arm. Standing, I went to return on the road that I had used in coming. But you came after me.
ねえ、ちょっと待ちなさいってば。
Leave me alone. If all you want to do is talk about your stupid fantasies, I'd rather get some sleep.
怪我しちゃったんだ。私をかばったせいで。名誉の負傷ってやつだね。
battle scar. She just won't give up. As I was about to complain, you gently laid her hand on my hard cast.
まだ痛む？
Only a little. I lied. Thanks to the medicine, it didn't really hurt at all. Awesome.
痛くなくなるおまじないかけてあげようか。
A spell?
うん。お母さん直伝の絶対に効くっていうお墨付きのやつ。せめてものお詫びにそれかけてあげるね。
Good reaction. He put her hands on my cast gently, as if enveloping it, and gently started rubbing it. Okay, well I guess next time we're going to see what the spell is that she's going to cast. Hopefully it doesn't turn him into a frog. Although since he is a prince, I suppose a kiss would turn him back. Is that how that story went? Something like that. So if the guy hadn't been a prince, would he just stayed a frog? I don't know. I don't know. Can't remember that story precisely. Anyway, hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall return later. Farewell.